Good evening, how are you all doing? My audience members are my mom and my dad, and my topic is about elderly driving and the hazards of it. Have you ever been driving to work or maybe class and came upon an elderly person driving 15 miles below the speed limit? Went to take a turn at a stop sign and an elderly driver pulls out in front of you when you had the right of way? Personally, this has happened to me several times. I want to explain why I think there should be a law to keep unfit elderly drivers off the road, to prevent them from endangering themselves and others. There are also several driving services out there that will allow them to get to where they need to go safely. This law would require people 65 and up to take a driving test every few years to make sure that they are still safe drivers. Currently, there is a law that requires elderly people to get a vision test every 8 years, but a driving test that can test their reflexes and driving ability would make more sense. It is unsafe and unfair for elderly people who are not fit to drive to share the same road as those of us who drive safely. According to a study in the journal Traffic Injury Prevention, intersection crashes accounted for about half of the fatalities and accidents among drivers 85 and older. The study found that when drivers aged 70 to 79 were involved in intersection collisions, they usually misjudged if it was safe to proceed. Those 80 and over simply failed to see the other car. In an article in 2011 from the Daily Mail, a couple in their 90s died from a car crash when the husband failed to stop at a stop sign and crashed into another couple's car, causing one of the people in the other car to break their neck. If that couple had not drove that day, they may still be here with us. Jessica Cincino, a vice president at the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, stated, "Usually if someone dies in a car accident, it's the older driver or the passengers who also tend to be older." Some might ask that if an elderly person is unfit to drive and is not allowed to drive, how will they get to important places such as the doctor's appointment? The answer to that question is driving services. There are several driving services nowadays that elderly people can use to go from point A to point B without having to ask someone a favor to drive them. Driving services such as Uber and Lyft and even taxis allow elders to get to where they need to go without endangering themselves and others. A statistic from the RideStar website states that the average cost per mile when taking an Uber or Lyft ranges from $1 to $2 a mile depending on where you live. Now, the most important reason why I believe in this law is because I want to keep the elders we love safe. Elderly drivers who are unfit to drive can cause harm not only to others, but also upon themselves. A few years ago, when my grandma was driving, she fell asleep on the road, almost causing an accident. She knew she shouldn't have been driving due to her health, but did so anyways because there was nothing to stop her from doing so. I care a lot about my grandma, and I believe that if she had been told that she was not fit to drive due to a driving test, I very much doubt she would have driven that day. My point is to keep some elderly drivers off the road, but I believe in this to keep everyone safe. All of the reasons I have stated for why we should enact this law has been said to create a safer driving environment for the elders we love and everyone else. When thinking about your opinion on this law, think about your loved ones and wanting to keep them safe. Thank you.